Ah, what's good? What's good? Why everybody got to put out their videos at this time? Everybody's live right now, dude. I purposely waited to the end of the freaking day, and everybody's live right now. All right, what's up, everybody? Dude, I apologize for the lack of a Planet Xbox last week. I mean, I had like a little bit of a emergency scare, but I'm good. And we'll be back this Wednesday. Back this Wednesday with another episode of Planet Xbox Podcast, but we're here on a random Monday, and Phil Spencer and the Xbox team is doing something, everybody's been asking PlayStation to do, and that's talk. Let's hear it. Maybe this whole February event was supposed to be the Xbox Wired article that just came out today. I mean, there's a lot going on through my mind right now, and with the Xbox Series X, all the rumors and the leaks and this, that, and the third. I tried to stay away from it. Obviously Diller and Windows Central, everybody came out with They leaked the whole 12 Tflps Navi RDNA 2 stuff, and people were like, and then you had the people kept bullshitting saying, oh no, GCN, all this other stuff, oh it won't be RDNA 2. They were denying it and whatnot. And it was interesting, and anytime I said something to, I guess, support that's what I was thinking, people would challenge me. Oh, you believe it's going to be 12 T-flops? Oh my God. You believe the 12 T-flops rumor? How come you could believe the 12 T-flop rumor, but you can't believe any of the PlayStation leaks? But it's funny because a lot of people Diller and Jez and stuff, apologies and stuff. It's kind of funny. It's funny because now everybody just kind of sit there and have to shut up. So right now, I enjoy when obviously next generation news come out, and especially when it's the brand I prefer, the Xbox brand. But it's to the point I'm overwhelmed. There's still a lot of stuff we need to know. There's still a lot of stuff we need to know about it, but I think I would say I'm well fed. But there is still a void of obviously PlayStation, and we need to know. At this point, I don't know what's going on with them. I really don't know what's going on with them. But at some point, whether it be next week, next month, that information has to come out. It has to come out.
What has to come out?
Who is this?
It's Addict.
Oh, what's up, Addict? Good thing you came in here. I'm going to hear from you real quick. Just hold on one moment. Addict, just take over for me 1 second.
What's going on, you guys? How many people is in here? 28. We should have 28 likes, man, or at least 28 dislikes. What's going on? You guys slacking, man. You guys slacking. What was Kid Smooth talking about? Was he on the 12 teraflops part yet? Was he on that? You guys got to be a little bit vocal. I didn't hear everything Kid said.
Well, I didn't say anything yet. I was trying to continue to. I was talking, but I was trying to drown out my background sound.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, I didn't get to, obviously, because you went live when I was at work, so I didn't get to watch your show yet. That you had earlier today, but I was just really doing what I typically do best when Xbox drops the mic on these ponies. Every now and then, I get excited and I freaking gloat. So right now, the Microsoft has revealed the Series X twice, and we're still waiting for PlayStation. But the thing is, the cool thing is that they just did something just so un Xbox like. What, remember I said, like, in my one of my previous videos, I said the whole wait for E3 thing is completely over. There's not going to be any more waiting. They said they wanted to go bold.
And this wasn't even an event. This is just some random article.
A random blog post that everybody jerks off every time Sony does it. You know, every time Sony does it, they it's like, oh, you know what I mean? And the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, I've commended Sony for like dropping like news stuff like just randomly without being at an event and just dropping out. It's cool. It's just like, oh my god, like something to talk about.
This time Microsoft got them shook.
Yeah. So now what? So I would say, what is it? It's February 24th. I don't know about. I know this. People were talking about this April or May Xbox event that may not happen. But right now, there's enough information, and we're gonna get more Xbox information at.
If you think about it, we're gonna if Sony hasn't announced anything by the time they do this special event, because I've been told this isn't fiction. This is really going to happen, like this special event.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft has dropped 3 things of info on the Series X before Sony's even told us the name. Well, they told us the logo. We've seen the logo. We don't know what it looks like. I mean, they haven't even officially showed us the controller, have they? Or they have done that?
No, they haven't showed us. They haven't showed us nothing outside of the JPEG. They haven't showed us anything, really. They went to CES. If anything, they could have easily skipped CES, but they went to CES. They showed us the JPEG, and they kind of went over some bullet points that they went over in a Wired article that was all the way back in April of 2019, and that's pretty much it. I mean, we know Godfall, and we know Outriders. Which is a
and what's funny is none of those games were announced by Sony.
No, none of these are.
One other thing I really find very curious and surprising is Sony announces that they're not going to PAX East 4 days before PAX East. Microsoft's like, this is how strong it is. This is the feature. It's like every time Sony does anything, they even remotely kind of drop the ball. Mm-hmm. Microsoft's there to pick up the ball and be like, this is mine.
Yeah, it's interesting, but we shouldn't be worried because PlayStation is in a position of strength. They can be silent, they can be quiet, and all this stuff, and they still have other games to promote. So they say, but they haven't even been. I feel like they haven't even been talking about the games that they have to promote.
And that's another thing that like kills me. People was like, "Oh, why would you start talking about the PS5 when you have all these games?" Where have they promoted them? They haven't went to PAX. They didn't do their own version of XO last year.
Yeah, PSX they haven't done PSX in like two years.
Yeah, they didn't go to the Paris show last year. They didn't go to E3 last year. Yep. They didn't go to PAX. They're not going to PAX this year. They're not going to GTS.
Need to stop because, dude, remember people they promote their games. The PS4 was revealed before The Last of Us 1 came out. It was revealed. They had an event for it. And Last of Us still came out fine about 4 months later. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
You want my honest opinion?
what's your honest opinion?
I think Microsoft did what they could to keep the whole the Xbox Series X is getting announced at the video game awards, and when they announced that, it shook Sony. They didn't expect it, and Sony usually has been a very good job this whole generation of being a reactive company, but they always react to something better.
Yeah.
But it feels like they haven't reacted to anything because they don't have anything to say right now, because they have nothing ready to show like that. I have 100% belief in Sony that when the PlayStation 5 comes out, those games are they're going to hit good. Pause. But at the same time, we can't act like they're not acting different compared to they act the whole last generation. Let's not forget that the entire head of Sony is completely different.
Yeah, I've said that several times, that the people launching the PS5 is not the same team launching that launched the PS4. There's some oh man. What the Hold on, dude. I'm trying to grab this picture for D Almighty Spartan.
Look, okay, so let's get some of these super chats while you do that. King Carlos said San Turbo's 110 12 teraflops. I definitely butchered anything you said, my dude. I'm sorry about that. Chris G said, just finished listening to JTech hate himself. He's so mad about this news today.
Why is he mad? I mean, a lot of people are mad today. I don't and that should have been expected. Hold on, why can't LBS be acting so dumb? He wanted me to grab this. There we go. There we go. What is this? Jim Ryan. Oh, with the PlayStation fans' patience running thin as PS5 remains a no-show. That's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny ass picture. I don't know if you all can see that.
Yeah, we could see it.
All right, I'm gonna bring that down. All right. No, but go ahead. Like, all right. So let me get real with you guys. All right. So you read you said just finished watching JTech. You read that. Shout out to Chris G and King Carlos. 12 teraflops. Haha. Now the thing I do like about today's news is that it gets rid of the whole stupid leaks and rumors and all this other crap that we've been listening to for weeks. Because now we got one thing out the way, and technically we know what I mean. We got a couple games to really like tout, because obviously 3 games have been already revealed for it, and then we know the games are going to be at E3. It should already be established in people's mind that when it comes to E3, Xbox is about showing the games, and that's what we're going to get. So I'm not even worried about E3 right now.
If you think it from a standpoint. So we got another $5 super chat for King Carlos. Robert is the guy that argues a smooth. Robert didn't believe the 12 terabyte hype. He added St. Robert 10.
Oh, yeah.
So we got a $2 super chat from Jean Macro Luis. I think I got that. All the haters were hoping the boogeyman was fake.
No, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
Let me for the Series X for me right now.
Let me make people mad right quick. The Xbox Series X is a beast, regardless or not. It right now until Nvidia drops their next gen whatever cards, the Xbox Series X is comfortably right. It's an equivalent, or no, it's better actually than the 2080 Super. That's what they're saying, right? And that came from a PC site. So. And the tweet I posted, that wasn't me. That wasn't just me talking. That had nothing to do with me. I just reposted. And people are mad at me because I reposted an article that was written by somebody else on PC Gamer or whatever it was. But the thing is, it's a beast. So the whole like the frame rate thing, people like, want to turn the freaking dismiss the whole idea of like frame rates hitting a certain number. Whole ray tracing thing, people want to dismiss. A lot of people have been dismissing a lot of things when it comes to the Xbox Series X, and it's just funny just to see how people look, because now there's a case. It's like, okay, you want to game on PC, go ahead. beat the Series X. How much is it going to cost you? Because the Series X, as we know it right now, is a high-end PC. It's a high-end PC, and it does something PCs don't do, at least not yet. It resumes play multiple games. So I can imagine, right, doing my career in NBA Live, let's say 21, right?
Well, I guess you can technically resume them if you just minimize the games, like not closing
that's
them
stupid. I mean, that's
exactly the same thing.
No,
you press the Windows button, you bring up the Windows button.
That's dumb.
It's the same thing. It's just
dumb.
a different UI.
And what you got to do? Hit the Windows button to try to find wherever you minimize that piece of shit to? Like, no. Here's the thing. Like, who isn't that going to kill? Like, never mind. I'm not even going to get into that. But
just because you can't argue with my logic,
I'm not arguing with that. I don't think it's. There's nothing to argue there. I'm just saying, like, this thing is going to be a beast, and now all things people are gonna like pretty much run after. People are running out. They can't come apart, and they pretty much know probably the PS5 is probably going to be not as strong, right? So now they're gonna be, well, we need the games, even though the games have been sprinkled like kind of all throughout the year, and they're gonna smack them in the face at E3. Hold on, let me get this out. They're gonna smack them in the face at E3, right? So then all they're going to have to do is all they're going to have to hold on to is NPD. Sales. Japan's still going to flop in Japan. That's all they're going to be limited to. And once they get to that point, I will be 110% satisfied. Go on.
I feel like this entire time, everything leading up to now, I feel like has been laid out in a plan because Phil Spencer knew what situation he inherited in 2013-14.
Yeah.
He knew what he had to get done. As much as I cannot say this, King has been right this whole time. Phil Spencer has been playing chess with Sony. He's been taking their lead keynotes. Oh, you like that power? We're taking that power. Okay, we're gonna change the narrative for okay, people are talking about us having no games. Game Pass, we got plenty of games for a $10 subscription. It's been right, especially the power narrative. People want to act like power don't matter, but then everyone's saying get a PC.
You know what's crazy? Back when the Xbox One X come out, people said power only matters when. Remember how they
games?
No. When the Xbox One X came out and we were touting the 6 teraflops and stuff, people kept defending that, saying, well, power only matters at the beginning of the generation. Well,
it's the beginning of
the generation.
I don't think
when everybody was comparing that whole 720p versus the 900p thing. Go ahead, Addict.
I don't think power is going to matter as much as it did last gen, but when games are running 4K 60 on the Series X and they're not doing it on the PS5 counterpart, look what's been happening now with the Xbox One X and the PS Pro. It's been getting obliterated in some of these games. Like, remember Red Dead? You had people at IGN that stopped playing it on the PS4 Pro to play it on the Xbox One X. It started the whole save file because it was night and day difference.
Yeah, one of the biggest news that came out today, along with the Xbox Series X, a lot of these spec confirmations because they just came out and just dropped it. Cyberpunk was the first to co-sign it with Microsoft's new smart delivery.
Hold on. Let me interrupt you for 1 second. Dizzy made the most epic thing that is always mattered more than anything else. The only thing that matters is the narrative. He's right because
no, you're right.
If you're good enough at marketing, you're good enough at PR, you can spin anything to look like a knight in shining armor.
Tiandre Willis, I haven't heard from Tiandre in a hot minute. For $2.99 says you think Sony playing possum or are they hiding? I think they're strategically hiding. It could be both.
It's strategic for them, and I don't blame them from doing it because let's say that they do a launcher price because I think they're right now they're looking at 600. And I think the only reason they haven't launched a price date is because, or anything related, they don't want to show the console, they don't want to show the specs because then people will speculate on what the console is going to cost off the specs. They're like, look, we're pretty sure Microsoft's dropping the console for $6, but if they drop it for $5, we cannot be at $6. We have to match or be lower than Microsoft. We cannot be higher. And I think that is precisely what they want to do. They want to make sure that they have neither the underpriced narrative or on the same par, we have better games narrative. They do not want to be $100 different.
Do you think you think the PlayStation 5 is set at 6?
I think both of them are, and I think that's the reason PlayStation.
I think the PlayStation 1 is set at 5, and Xbox. I think the Xbox is probably headed for 6, but the thing is that I think PlayStation is aiming at 5 and hoping the Xbox is aiming at 6.
See, at the end of the day, they don't. I feel like if it was 500, I feel like Sony would not care if it's 500 because if it was 5, the Series X would be 5 or 6, and they win either way. The only way that makes sense to me, it's my opinion. Everyone in the comment section, I'm entitled to my opinion. You can all eat a dick. I'll block every single one of you. I'm joking.
Relax.
But you know, the only way that makes sense of being 6, this entire narrative that makes sense to me is if they're at 6 and they don't want to be lower than they don't want to be higher than Microsoft. Because if you think about it, if they drop it for 6 and then Microsoft drops it for 5, then they lose. But if they're both at 5, then they win. Because at the end of the day, even if they're the same price, they can still go, we have the better games. Look at our Metacritic scores on our games. Look how many games sold of these games. But I feel like if it was 6, if their system was 5 right now, why can't they just announce that?
Well, we don't need the price.
Why can't
I'm not waiting for PlayStation
anything.
Yeah, the thing I don't care if PlayStation announces a price because obviously I'm not even begging for Xbox price at this point. That I don't care. I just want to see what the PlayStation looks like. Show me the controller. Show me something. Show me something official that we can, talk about.
They can't show what it looks like because then people are going to ask the specs. People want to see what's in it more than what it looks like. It's like the Series X. What it was like a couple months later, they showed what it is. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, they want to hold on as long as they possibly can.
But how long can they hold on to? You got.
I don't think they're going to do anything till around E3.
Well, GDC is next month, so something has to come out of GDC. I know they're not going, but developers got. I mean, more stuff has to like leak at this point. Like it has to come out either way. Regardless, it has to come out. My thing is, it's like,
I don't think Sony,
they're not going to be at E3. So like, where in June?
Look,
like
the Raven Flow. I don't think Sony. They're good financially, but PlayStation's was bringing them in money. I don't think they can afford to take a loss like that with the PlayStation. I don't.
All right, DL Mighty Spartan guy says, Kiss Move, how would both be aiming for that should be a question for you, but I don't know why he's asking me. He says, how would both be aiming for $599 if PlayStation 5 was supposedly 3 teraflops less? If they're both there, they're on par. No, all right, so here's the thing. Only one company has reports of them having trouble with pricing. So remember, PlayStation is trying to get some fan to compensate for the speeds that they're trying to hit. So they may be paying more for the parts that they have in their console than normal. So there's other components in their console that can hike up their price. And when I say that, but I never said PlayStation. I expect PlayStation 5 to be $600. I think that's PlayStation is targeting 5, and I think Xbox is probably a $600 console, but I think Sony has concerns that Microsoft might charge 5 for it. And the fact is, a lot of people expect PlayStation to come in with this $399 PlayStation versus a $500 or $600 Xbox and win that way. But the problem is, the PS5 might be a situation where the PS5 is lesser, but it either costs the same as the Xbox Series X. I mean, just because the pricing, it depends on what they're paying for their components. Like, just because PlayStation 5 has, let's say, it could be a weaker console, but if they pay more for a fan and a fucking motherboard or something like that, more than Xbox can, it's hiked up their pricing, they could essentially charge the same price if they wanted to, if they didn't want to take too big of a loss. Like, I'm just saying. Like,
okay, well, let me address the chat. The Almighty Spartan God, why I think they're both targeting 6? Because at the end of the day, if Microsoft's taking a hit to have this console at 6, then if 3 teraflops less could be around 6.
3 teraflops.
Yo, what up,
and the teraflops is only fucking we talking about like the way this thing is being clocked. You know what I mean? There's other things that I don't think the teraflops determines the price.
Oh, it doesn't. It just determines the parts that goes in the console.
And Tflop's is different on AMD compared to NVIDIA because NVIDIA can perform better than AMD at a lower Tflop count, which people say, but AMD prefers to do things software-based and hardware-based as NVIDIA does it. That's why Microsoft invested in DXR, which is they've invested like a lot of money in implementing that into Windows. And people are thinking, why are they investing so much to make ray tracing easy for NVIDIA? So now they're using software-based ray tracing, which was benchmarked in a CryEngine demo, which can be used on any graphics card.
At
basically.
the end of the day, I think they're both going to come out as 5.
Oh yeah, I saw that CryEngine thing.
The only
I ran it on my 14 Tflop card, and it was able to do above 60 FPS. So software-based ray tracing is a lot easier to do. It's just fake compared to the real thing, which is hardware. So if they can make it real, software-based, it'll be a lot more prettier than NVIDIA's pushing.
Wait, so what about that Control game? Was they doing that the same way? Or was they doing
Control
it
DXR is hardware based. So what NVIDIA does is they put like the tensor cores. It's all the hardware. And Microsoft Microsoft added DXR into Windows recently, a couple months back, which helps with ray tracing in video games. And people are thinking, okay, but NVIDIA isn't being in the next gen consoles. Why is Microsoft investing in DXR? And they're trying to get DXR software based. And then putting out saying DXR is going to be in the next Xbox confirms that they were investing it in to be, get hardware accelerated ray tracing to be obsolete and make it more software based. So developers don't have to worry about how to program it in one console that has it in the hardware, like maybe Sony's PS5 might have, whereas Xbox won't have it in the hardware.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft.
It's smarter that way.
I think Microsoft or Sony is going to bully the other one into being a lower price.
Yeah, I feel like Addict has a good point. Like the point is, like about Sony being reactionary and everything to them, like they always reacted when it was something negative. So when Xbox actually did something positive, they're having a hard time calculating how they're going to respond.
It's because all the information that they're willing to share, they can't share till they see the price of the Series X.
Yeah, like I mean, they're reacting to like Microsoft's and Xbox's missteps. They haven't missed a step since announcing it at the Game Awards. Like they've just been slowly leaking stuff, and I feel like that's also having an impact on the pricing. Like they said, if it is a lesser console, why would they try to match them with
put
price?
Your Discord in this chat. Some of these people need to come in here so I can shut them up.
Like I feel like the pricing and everything, like I feel like maybe Sony they're cautious, but at the same time I feel like they're getting a little bit complacent or bullheaded because like they have to be watching how their fans are reacting. Like they know that their fans are hungry.
Care. Sony does not care about their fans.
That's what I'm like. I'm getting to that.
If
like
they
I
cared about
Jim Ryan's like, I don't know them niggas.
If they cared about their fans, they would go to events.
They announced a PlayStation event where you have to collect trophies in order to like get wallpaper stickers and stuff like that.
At E3 last year,
what the hell? Like,
it's cool not to have a press conference, but you go to that floor. You at least bring stuff for
like
your
you
fans
send
to
somebody
play.
there. Like you send something there.
You
like,
know, PAX East, that's acceptable because we have a fucking health crisis going on in the world. So I can understand that. But what I don't understand...
But would anybody have that same energy, though, if it was Xbox? Given that they're not the platform leader and, like, the mindshare leader, would anybody be saying, oh, yeah, should Xbox with the virus?
The Raven Flow, when you go to these events and you go to the Sony section, the majority of them are third-party marketing deals. You got the Call of Duty. Remember, they had like 2 entire aisles of Destiny one year. Like they have a lot of stuff they can show. Like they
got a lot of support.
They could have went to E3 and showed live. They could have literally did what Nintendo did a couple years ago. Had an entire section dedicated to Last of Us, and no one would have said anything.
Yeah, that's facts.
One year, Nintendo literally had their entire section dedicated to Breath of the Wild. The whole fucking thing. There was like 60 fucking demos in that place, and the line was it was around the entire convention center. That's how long it was.
Shit, and I mean, like, Sony has the IP power to really do something like that. Shit, if they at least put The Last of Us 2 out there, they could have definitely had lines just the same.
If Ghost of Tsushima is coming out this year, don't tell me they can't have info on that. Don't tell me they can't have a demo on that.
So
Dreams. They could have showed something on Dreams. Obviously, no one gives a fuck about Dreams, but they could have.
Facts.
So my thing is that see, I didn't expect anything to come out today. I was at work, and literally, I think it was at 9:41 Eastern time. I happened to look at my phone, and I went to the Twitter. I forgot. I don't know what I saw, but I think I saw the something from Xbox saying the next generation of Xbox, and it wasn't like from last month. It was like today, and I'm like, let me open this up, and then I read. I'm like, holy crap! They went into like ultra detail. Let me. A lot of people jumped in here when I got up. That sounds like it was Def Grips that was in here. Like,
yeah,
Grips.
Bro.
I'll be at the podcast Wednesday. I'm off that day.
Awesome,
All
awesome.
right,
Grips, what was the first thing you that came to your mind when you saw that?
No, when I saw that, like I was on the same thing you was on. Like when I saw, like I think somebody posted something on Twitter, and I looked at it and I was like, all right, like this is old. Like this must be old because it looked like an old thumbnail that I posted in our messages. But then when I looked at the article, like I was like, oh, this is more detailed, not really numbers, but more specific, like on like what it's going to be able to do. This more specifics on that part. So like I knew that it was something new where I was like, all right, like I mean, because I didn't see anything as smart delivery before and shit like that. So I was like, okay, like I mean,
if you want my honest opinion, I don't think this thing that Phil Spencer and Xbox did this morning was planned.
You don't think why?
No, I don't.
You don't think it was planned? You think they just like, oh, let's?
No, I think they took advantage of the bad publicity Sony was getting for not going to PAX.
Yeah,
and they launched that.
No. It had to be planned because the article had to be written and scheduled. The article was written and scheduled.
In 5 days they can't write an article.
Yeah, but it was scheduled for 6 a.m. to come out right on time. I don't think this had to be.
How many times have you scheduled a video the day before?
Yeah, so just because, but the thing is that come on, you think they just did it because Sony's not going to PAX
I feel
East?
Like if it was planned, Digital Foundry would have had it.
Yeah, like they said that they just got it. Like they just
it was random on a Monday. What news comes out on a Monday?
Most gaming news come out on a Monday.
Not
or
really,
Tuesday.
not like this.
Yeah, it just it's been dry, but that's like when most news come out. I mean, I don't think it was random. I think they had a plan to talk about this. Maybe they assumed that PlayStation was supposed to have information out by this time, February 5th. The infamous February 5th date. Like
I don't think that it was random, but I also don't think that it was like a calculated like.
I don't think it was in. I don't. Okay, let me read.
Well, maybe they put this information out because it was going to leak next month anyway. It
was planned, but it wasn't planned to a long-term scenario. Like they didn't, like 6 months ago they weren't talking about this. They probably heard that Sony wasn't going to PAX a couple
not
weeks
PAX.
ago.
PAX is not that big. I don't think Microsoft is going to move at PAX.
Microsoft has done has been reactionary. Everything since Series X.
I think here's the thing. PAX East is not that big of a deal. PAX is not that big of a deal. If Sony would have said they weren't going to PAX last year, nobody would have even cared.
I don't think narrative that counts.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think PAX is Microsoft saying, "Oh, they're not going to PAX." Oh, then we're not going to. Oh, we're going to do this to take advantage of that. I don't think it's that serious. I think they're so close.
Big deal when they're not going anywhere else.
Well, yeah, when they're not going anywhere else.
Exactly what Greatest Ever said. They smell blood in the water.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
I feel like
capitalize on
the information
every
they revealed
that they possibly can.
Was going to come out next month anyway at some point, or because you got GDC where most of the specs are going to be out there. They got to sell ideas or get developers on board with the consoles and new ideas that they're doing. So that information was going to come out regardless, whether it be officially. So I feel like
Greg Ron, dude, you're retarded, man. Addict got so much foil on his head, his beard broadcasting FM radio.
Like it's just like with Sony, like Addict said, they were reacting to everything negative Microsoft was doing. So now Xbox is carrying that same energy. Like they're just reacting when they saying, "Oh, they're not going to be here. They're not going to be here." They could see that they could keep the eyeballs on them. So
Microsoft is literally Sonying them right now.
Yeah, so why not do that? Like, it's just like keep all the attention, keep all the minds on you. Like, even though Sony, like going into this next gen, like they're still going to have like a real tight grip on everything.
Look at it from this perspective, kid. All right, you're going in with all this good publicity. People keep saying, "Oh, it's not 12." You know, they see all this stuff. They read Twitter. They listen to podcasts. You know, they do keep up with this community. Believe it or not, Microsoft does keep up with this community. They want to see what narrative is going on right now. Every time you saw on Twitter, people would say, "Oh, Microsoft is all they've really shown is just what it looks like. They haven't announced what's in it. They haven't announced anything." And then Sony is supposed to go to PAX. It's canceled. Sony's supposed to go to E3, it's canceled. Sony's supposed to go to GDS, whatever it's called, it's canceled. When is the best time? That is literally the best time.
Let me before we continue, I just gonna interrupt to say shout out to the people over there on Mixer, Pablo the Third, Canobis, Logic.
Yes, you can give a digital code away, Looker. That's. Let me get
like these guys. First. Like these guys still ain't thinking with their head. It's just like
it's not that. It's just personal opinion. They don't believe it. I understand.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, it's not that hard to understand shit if you're just looking at just like the whole play field and like all the little clues that's just being dropped around. It's just like you could kind of like estimate how everybody is just moving at this particular moment. Like Sony has never been like this. Like they've never not been on Microsoft's ass. Like, come on, like this isn't that hard to understand. And I mean, with the whole pricing debacle and them having like a really hard time just kind of like measuring it out on like what they're gonna drop this console for. And I mean, especially if it is weaker, like they gotta be keeping their eye to the floor just like Microsoft.
The best thing,
like they're not stupid.
The best thing for the brand that happened, which a lot of people, even I had my doubts, was Phil Spencer. Because at the end of the day, Phil Spencer knew the weaknesses of the brand, but he was not in a position to do anything. He didn't have a chance to do anything. First thing he does is take the power narrative away. And then after he took that away, after the Xbox One X came out, did you see any more power-focused articles? Did you see any more Digital Foundry destroying the original Xbox compared to the Play? That completely went away. Then he realized, okay, the Japanese support is dog shit. He is competent on it multiple times. That's why he's been going to Japan multiple times. He said in that interview on Gamer Tag Radio or whatever it's called, he said, look, one of the biggest issues that the Japanese developers have with us is when they're actually doing this development, they don't see our brand in their stores at all. And he said, look, we got to make sure that we're there launch with the northern support. They want the West and they want Japan to pretty much come out at the same time. And then he looked at it because he was there for the 360. He saw the decline in exclusives because they weren't hiring second parties at that time. So what did he do? He went out and got new studios, and we're not talking, obviously some studios have definitely got something to prove. Compulsion, Undead, they got something to prove. But we can't sit here and say Ninja Theory don't make good games. We can't say Obsidian don't make good games. They bought good studios.
Yeah, so Compulsion still has, like, I mean, these are some of the past people who worked on BioShock. I think they got some gas in there that's just like waiting to pop off. And they said that their next game is like third party or some third person. Not third person. So it's just like
Raven, that's what they did last generation, and it didn't work for them. Because at the end of the generation, they went like 4 years with the same 3 games. Because
they can't keep doing that, bro.
Yo, Smooth, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, man. Why, man? With the ponies here, goddamn it. All right, ponies in the motherfucking building. All right,
Chris. What's going on, man? When you guys gonna start like getting into the conversation?
They're too scared.
Hey, listen, man. To be honest, first of all,
He spent
I
40
just got
minutes
here,
trying to
so
fix his mic. So
yeah. But first of all, let me get my thoughts on this whole the news that came out today.
Sure.
Right?
But no, hold up. The Ravenflow, that's what they've been doing. I don't understand how people don't say that okay, first off, the Halo, Gears, and Forza devs have always made 85 and plus games, the majority of them. Obviously, we might shy 1 point. What I think Halo 5 was an 84, and Gears 5 and 4 and 5 was an 84. Are we starting to say these games are bad? Like they've been hiring in every one of these studios. Obsidian just made like an amazing game. It was like in what 86?
That's the narrative they running with is
Yeah.
that all of these
let
people
Chris
are
Rice
just gonna forget
just,
how to make games.
Let Chris Rice just speak his.
All right. So when I saw the news this morning and they broke down all the specs, 12 Tflps, what is it, RDNA 2, right? Right? It's RDNA 2, right? 12 Tflops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they say anything about the CPU? Because I don't think I saw that.
No,
It's
CPU wasn't brought up.
Okay, so it's a G.
I think
Okay, so it's just
it's Zen 2.
GPU.
It's Zen 2.
Yeah.
So yeah. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a beast of a console. Like this is gonna be a hard
But
beast.
Phil Spencer himself
gonna
has
be-
commented on the CPU multiple times.
Right, but I was like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed because, and I was just saying this earlier on Jay Barry's channel. The way Xbox been doing their rollout ever since they revealed the console at the Game Awards, it's been much better than the rollout of the Xbox One.
I'll be back here in a couple
it's-
minutes.
All right, man. Yeah, it's been much better than the because what this telling me is that they're not compromising spec wise on the console, right? Like what they did with the Xbox One, because they were trying to shove the Kinect in there, make the Kinect mandatory, right? So they had to compromise on the Xbox One. That's why the Xbox One hardware was trash, the original Xbox One. So it's showing them that they're not gonna be making the same mistakes as far as hardware wise, right? Now the whole thing with Sony is I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting a little bit impatient. With Sony. They definitely
Getting
need.
annoyed.
I'm not getting annoyed. I'm just getting a little bit impatient because they definitely need to start saying shit, to start saying stuff. I know some people
they
be
need
like,
to say
"What
something.
Sony? What? Yeah, hold on." Some people are like, "Well, Sony's on top. You know what I mean? They're gonna be good no matter what." And I agree with that to a certain extent. But here's the thing, right? We all know that PlayStation right now, right, for this generation, is the heavyweight champ. But even if you're the heavyweight championship, I mean, if you're the heavyweight champion, you still got to get in the ring and fight to keep that title. You can't just be getting hit left and right and then not doing anything about it. You know what I mean? So they have to maintain because even Floyd Mayweather, he fights people that are lesser than him. He fights people that are less skills than him. So Sony being the heavyweight champion, they still got to get in the ring and fight. You know what I mean? So I think that they Microsoft is doing a better rollout with the Xbox Series X when it comes to, giving us the information, laying it all out there and stuff like that. I think that Sony right now is struggling internally, specifically for the price, because they're trying to figure out, okay, how much is the Xbox Series X is going to be, because we're trying to undercut them. Because even if the Series X ends up being more powerful than the PS5, we still don't know what the PS5 specs is going to be. They can still, get them with the price. You know what I mean? That would still be better for them at launch to have the better price. Now, as soon as I'm not worried about the PS5 it delivering because we already know Sony got some of the best studios. Sony's going to deliver on the games.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm not worried. I'm getting a PS5 no matter what, weak or stronger. I'm keeping that same energy.
Yep.
But when they're pulling out of all these events, right? First it was E3. Okay, cool. I don't think E3 is that much of a necessity anymore. Even though I think they should still go. I would like them to go. I don't agree with them with not going. All right, you pull out of E3. Then you pull out a packs at GDC for the C virus. I don't want to say their name because some people be getting demonetized for that.
Yeah,
But for the C virus, right? So, which is legitimate reasons. I'm not mad at those reasons. Nobody else should be mad. Even if other companies decide to show up, they shouldn't be mad at other companies deciding to show up, and they shouldn't be mad at companies deciding to pull out because of this. This is legit reason. But they still need to come out and tell us something. We were supposed to see The Last of Us 2 this weekend at PAX East. They should be like, since we're not going, let's drop in more information about The Last of Us 2. I feel like they should do the same thing with the PlayStation 5. That may be me getting a little bit patient. As soon as they announce the PlayStation 5,
you know what they
the narrative is going to... Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Like with The Last of Us 2, they don't even have... I know people was like, oh, well, drop the demo, the PAX demo on PSN. They don't even have to do that. Honestly, to maintain hype, all they got to do is upload the PAX demo of one of them playing through the PAX demo on YouTube or something like that, and that would be like enough. That's like, oh, it's an updated gameplay of The Last of Us 2, and they could do what they did with Days Gone with that information dump that they did. Yeah, like it could easily solve that problem. Here's the thing, right?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me say something.
Go ahead, Chris.
Somebody's saying they're pulling out because they need to save money. No, they already paid for their slots at PAX. They already paid for that. That's already there. So they already wasted money, and they're not gonna go. So that has nothing to do with it. They took this decision seriously and pulled out. You know what I mean? Whatever you think it is, they already paid. They're not gonna sit here and pay just to pull out. No, they already planned and they're already scheduled. They pulled out last week. You know what I mean? They've already been set for going to PAX East for months now. So it has
Sony needs to stop saving money, start spending money.
Like he said, like they already paid. Like it's kind of like how bars do. Like you pay to play for certain bands, but then you get paid off the door in the bar. So like the people, like the mayor or whatever, he wanted Sony to show up to get people to come in. Like you see what I'm saying? So they not coming, so they're not getting paid. Like they got paid that initial fee from Sony, but that's it. Like they not getting any extra because possibly people aren't going.
And Sony's not getting that money back. They already spent the money.
Hell no, they're not getting that back.
That money is gone. But all in all, like I'm not for those who saying that Sony's gonna be over. Listen, man, do not count Sony out because they're gonna give us this information. The thing is when are they gonna give us the information? Xbox already made the move. Now is the time for Sony to make the move, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I, as a PlayStation fan, right? I want the info right now. I want the info tonight, man. Drop some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but remember PlayStation started
killing me.
PlayStation started this shit. Remember, they were the first one to start dropping details, like legit details about their next generation.
Yeah, last year around this time.
That was before obviously Xbox E3 little sizzle reel of the Scarlet video that they did at the end of their E3 in June. So they've been trading, and then after a while, Xbox just said, generation's over. Here's a look at the Xbox Series X, and that was it. So it's like I said, what I was trying to say earlier is I don't care about how much PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X is going to cost. Right now, it's February 2020. The pricing of the consoles right now are irrelevant. I don't expect to hear about pricing on them till like June when you can pre-order them things. However, I don't care whatever trouble they're having with pricing, that shouldn't stop them from showing off the console. That shouldn't stop them from giving more details about the console, or like even just like points that information that we didn't know before. There's got to, like, what are they waiting for? You're not going to PAX, not going to GDC. You announced back in January that you're not going to E3. So what are you going to do? You say you were going to hundreds of events. Well, other than CES and Tokyo Game, and I'll be damn shocked if they go to Tokyo Game Show, if the C virus is what's keeping them away from most of the events. Because
just keep in mind, they said Tokyo Game Show is going to be next gen focused.
Yeah.
But at that point, they did it. I'm sorry, but video game consoles aren't like Apple. Like Apple, they can reveal their latest phone and then launch it a month or two later. PlayStation and Xbox can't do that. I don't want to hear about PS5 in September and then them turn around try to launch it in November. Nah,
That's too late.
nah.
They have to announce it much earlier than that. That's way too much. I'm gonna be mad. You know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, man. I think the pricing is what's really them keeping them quiet right
But
now. I
that's
think
good. But the thing is, but they don't have to worry about revealing pricing now. It's like they don't have to worry about
that's
that
true.
until June.
That's true. That's true.
Gunny 1985 says, "I'm beginning to think PS5 won't be ready for this year." Anybody else think?
Well,
No,
there is
because-
a rumor
no,
saying that it'll
no.
get delayed into next year.
Yeah, like I've seen
Well, that's the
that
C
rumor
virus.
fly around. Like
That's if the C virus continues the way it's going, and it could put a hurt on both of the consoles.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. I think the PS5 is will definitely be ready by the end of the year because we were already hearing about developers having a dev kit last year, and if you remember, the whole thing was like I think it was Jason Schreier, and then that other guy, I forgot what his name was.
Tom Warren.
But Tom Warren, remember when Jason Schreier was saying that the PS5 was already ahead in like development?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You remember that?
Yep.
So I don't think it's because the PS5 is not ready. I think they're just struggling with something else, with the price, maybe something else, and of course this whole the C virus is also putting a winch in their plans as well. So, but yeah, since they're pulling out of these events, right? I'm not mad at them for the reasons that they pull out, like, and nobody should be upset about that. But they should at least just drop some information, man. I don't honestly. I'm starting to think that there's not going to be a actual like PS5 conference reveal where they have a whole bunch of people gather in
You're
one
thinking
location.
it's going to be a state of play where it's
Yeah,
like 50 minutes.
Right. I think they're probably just gonna have Jeff Keighley in the room, right? And he's gonna be presenting, the PS5. They're gonna show like a state of the plow, I say state of the plow, state of play, video.
State of the
with, like,
PlayStation Cloud doesn't exist yet.
right. But, state of play, like videos with maybe like Jim Ryan and Yoshida and Herman Host coming out, and developers at like Santa Monica and Naughty Dog talking about, hey, this is what we're going to be able to do with the PS5 or whatnot. I think they're just probably going to do a full. If they're worried about the virus like that, then that's probably the next best thing that they can do is just release like a 50-minute, 45-minute video just detailing the PS5. And like you said, Smooth, they don't really have to release the price. They can just say this is our console, these are the specs, these are the games we're gonna have, because we already know, you know what I mean? And I gotta wear my pony hat. We already know PlayStation is gonna come with the better games, hands down. But
I
they
mean,
definitely
they need to come with
do
the
that.
better launch too. Shit, because like I mean, right
Yeah,
now,
they
like
need to have a
just
good
looking,
launch as well. Absolutely.
like I mean, like what I'm thinking is like, all right, they could do a state of play. They could have did a state of play for the PAX jump. Like I mean, shit, if they knew that they weren't gonna be there. Because I don't feel like this was just like a spur of the moment, just like pop out. Like I feel like they already knew that they weren't going to be there. And also prior coming out, they were having the pricing issues. So I feel like if they just wanted to garner like a little bit of attention and just like get the people thinking, or like just like satisfied a bit with the PS5, they could have did a state of play, been like 15-20 minutes and like showed off the demo for The Last of Us. Like they could have did that. Like a state of play, I don't feel like takes that much power to do. Like they have like the automated voice and shit narrating the whole thing. It's just like show the demo that you were gonna
Alexa
have there,
narrates
and
it.
like they would have been happy. Like a lot of people would have been satisfied off of that.
I just want to see that V box, goddammit. I just want to see what the thing looks like at this point.
Hey, the
Ridiculous.
Sony said they was going to Gamescom, or they skipping that too?
They haven't said
They
anything
haven't
about
said anything
that.
about Gamescom. It's too far out.
So we
Well, we now know Sony doesn't run. They skip. They skip everything.
Yeah, you got a point.
I mean, yeah, this.
I mean, it's
year,
starting
yeah.
to feel like that. I ain't going to just rag on them, but it's just
Yeah.
starting to feel like that. And it's just like, I mean, I can't tell somebody else how to feel shit about this or that, and I mean, shit, if people are upset, they gonna be upset. Like, I mean, shit, they hungry, and it's just like, I mean, shit, a lot of Microsoft dudes are like, whatever, Xbox guys. I mean, they're getting the things that they want. Like, I mean, they got to see the console. They know what's in the box. You saw a couple games is going to come out for the Joe. It's like, I mean, they're getting little shit here and there. It's the same approach that Sony could do. Like, they could just be like slow leaking little shit. And it's just like, since they hold the mind share of fucking like almost everybody on the fucking planet, a lot of people will be happy.
Tiandre Willis says, if Microsoft pulled out, they would get smeared. Stop capping.
Son, they would be crucified, bro. Like, there's no way around it, bro. They'd be eaten alive.
I think
Microsoft wouldn't be able to recover. They'll just be like, shit, it's already doomed. Move on to the next
console. The console's already dead.
You know what I mean?
It's already dead. Why? We got to move on to the next one already.
The thing is, here's the thing, right? I like the way Xbox is moving. They're being bold. They're being surprising. Like there's no more predictions. You really can't predict what they're gonna do or how they're gonna approach things. But they seem very confident. The Xbox Series X is looking like a beast, and not a lot of people are expecting this thing now to be super expensive. Like I said, I'll buy it day one for $500, and I'm open to doing $600 if it's gonna cost that much.
I think it's gonna be $5. It can't be. That'll be stupid. If it's $600,
no. You understand the market.
Aside from the hardcore, it's gonna be DOA at 600.
I don't think
it has to be 500.
Like, I mean, I feel it'll sell out like the X did. Like when that officially dropped, I feel like it'll sell out like that, and then people will have to wait to get more units. I feel like since it's a more premium console and not the Series S, that's where they're gonna get like the bulk of those people from is the Series S. Like that Series X shit, like it's gonna be niche for a minute, like until they drop the price.
Well, they still gotta announce the Series S if that's true.
They still gotta, now,
that's true.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, well, that's true. I mean, yeah, it could be, but from what I heard is like as far as regarding the Series S, is that it's a major possibility that it might not even launch this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
So this is gonna come out
so
later.
My thing is though.
What I'm saying is if PlayStation comes out and they're cheaper, then they're gonna get most people, majority of the people at launch because they're gonna be cheaper. You know what I mean? Regardless if the Series X is more powerful.
Yeah, to a certain extent though, and that's why they're putting a lot of their game like those final release games for Sony. They're coming out on the PS4 because they know that's where the grunt of the people are. It's just like with Xbox, they don't expect people just to jump ship to that. That's why they're keeping everything in that ecosystem. So you'll be able to play all those games on your X or on your S when you have them, because they don't expect people just to go and ball out like that. Like the hardcore will do that for the PS5 and X day one, but those other people, like that mass unit of people, they're not gonna do it. It doesn't matter what Sony launches with; it'll only appeal to their hardcore. So like they could have God of War 2. Like I mean, a lot of those people, the general public people, they don't even know what the fuck that is. Like if you launch with GTA, like a bunch of people will cop it, but like that niche shit, like they're not dropping draws, bro. Like that's just what it is.
All right, so the thing is, so some of the things that stuck out for me that I've been like clamoring for is the whole smart delivery, and then Cyberpunk coming out and co-signing, saying that, you know, if you buy Cyberpunk on the Xbox One, you'll get the Xbox Series version for free. And the fact that smart delivery, knowing like when you buy a game, when all these games we're buying, and when we upgrade to our new Xboxes, the system will recognize which version we should be playing, and it will be obviously the next gen version of each game. Right. And the fact that obviously this is like Play Anywhere, this is going to be mandatory or mandated on first party, third parties are open to take advantage of it. Cyberpunk, being the first to come out and say that they will be doing this. It does put pressure on third-party publishers to do this, because the fact that it's there and now the public knows it's there, will know if these publishers actually use it or not, and that's going to look real scummy. And I'm just curious to see what Sony's take on this, if they'll be introducing something like this for the PlayStation 5 and having a mandate on like first party, because then that would definitely put pressure on third parties to make this more of a standard thing rather than like a selective thing.
No, I think it will, because they already did that sort of with like the Vita and I think the PS3 or the PS4, where you can buy one copy on the Vita and then have a PS4 version. So I think that Sony is also going to be doing the same thing. I don't know if they're going to call it what's it called again?
It's smart delivery.
Smart what?
Smart delivery.
Smart delivery. I think that I think that's a corny name, but I mean, it doesn't matter the name. The feature is great for gamers. I definitely think the PS5 Sony will definitely do that. If they don't do that, if they charging, like for example, like whenever I have the Final Fantasy 7 remake or The Last of Us 2, right, and then I get my PlayStation 5, and then I have to pay the money to have the upgraded version of those games as the PS5. I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be upset. That's gonna be L.
Yeah, because the thing is that you had a lot of people,
they know their community's gonna buy them.
Like, for example, The Last of Us came out, the same year as the PS4, and then they obviously sold you a remaster for the PS4.
Wait, what? If I remember right, Last of Us came out in 2013. PS4 came out in 2014, wasn't it?
PS4 came out in 2013 at the end of the year.
Last of Us came out earlier in summer.
Summer 2013.
The PS4. It was pretty much the same thing with what was happening with The Last of Us 2. It's the exact same situation.
Same situation. Except when you got a PS4, there was no Last of Us, and then you had to wait until the 2014, the remastered version, which you had to buy.
Well, there was also no backwards compatibility with the PS4 and the PS3, because obviously the PS3.
Yeah, but they still remastered the game and sold it separately.
Well, also remember you got the Left Behind DLC for free, which was like only $10, but still.
Yeah.
They made it more.
They remastered the game because it wasn't backwards compatible, and then plus you had a lot of people, right, jumping over to the PlayStation 4, like in huge numbers at the beginning of the generation, because of you know what I mean, because they everything fell in place for them correct, and they marketed everything right for the beginning of the generation. So why wouldn't they remaster The Last of Us and capitalize off that? Because it went off to like right now between both systems, it's like at like 17 or 18 million, and it's sold way more
bought it twice
on the PS.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but of course, you know what I mean, and that's exactly what they wanted. Of course, people bought it twice, but a lot of new people bought it as well that didn't play the original, because it sold way more on the PS4 than it did on the PlayStation 3.
I mean, shit, it looked better. And there was
60 frames.
Yeah, like they know that people are gonna buy it. Like, I mean, them having such a strong grip on the gaming community, like they know that people are going to rebuy. So if they decide to not do this smart share shit or whatever, like I think they just feel like they have that much power in such a grip that they feel that they'd be able to do it. And like, I mean, I honestly, for Ravenflow and them, like that next PS5, like that shit is not going to be $399 off bucks. Like they're going.
It's not going to be
like
$400. It can't be.
Nah, like they know that they know that they're trying to catch Microsoft slipping, so that's why they're waiting. But I mean, I also feel that they're confident enough in which that if they did put out like a 500 or like 550, 600 or whatever, I feel like they feel that they know that their customers will buy it. Like,
I feel like the biggest news that is honestly going to come out of PlayStation 5 like this year that they're going to use is the fact that The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima is going to be playable on their console in some shape or fashion.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to make
Enhanced
up.
mode, PS5 version of Last of Us and Ghost. I'm calling it right now.
And I feel
Yeah.
like, and of course,
Oh yeah, they already have that done.
Their drop the mic is going to be like the Horizon 2, and I feel like those are going to be like sort of the biggest thing outside of obviously the console launching and stuff like that. But sure, there's going to be some of the things that we got in this Xbox article is going to be available in the PlayStation 5 and whatnot, and I'm curious to see their take and their implementation on things. And the thing is, when we get and people understand, and I didn't mean for this to be a conversation about PlayStation 5, but when you have obviously PlayStation and
We have
Xbox,
to talk about it.
it has to come up because we know the PS5 exists.
Yeah, you have to talk about
and
it.
the more information we get on Xbox Series X, the more information we want to know on PlayStation, and vice versa. Remember, guys, when after the Xbox Series X came out, I was like, all right, I need PlayStation to start talking because the more PlayStation talk, the more information I'm going to get out of Xbox. Problem was, PlayStation didn't say anything, so I had to literally wait until Xbox decided to say something again. But I was hoping PlayStation would like put something out there, and that's more information we can go off of, and then Xbox comes back and vice versa. But now it's just like, now I was like, okay, PlayStation, where are you? Because we went from we know nothing. I really don't know anything about the PS5. I know.
Well, you know the logo.
The logo in the dev kit. The logo in the dev kit.
And you got
Okay, can I say something?
What's up?
By the way, forgive me, I'm on the bus, but I think Sony is not in a rush to get into the next generation already because they still have some games to put out there. So would it be safe to say Sony might just be waiting for these games to come out and then be like, okay, now here's the PS5 news?
Well, that's kind of stupid. It's dumb because
no one said companies were smart.
No, Mel, to make millions, you gotta be smart. To make billions, you gotta be smart. And I mean, I think that would be dumb because none of these dates are guaranteed. Obviously, like The Last of Us was freaking delayed like 3 weeks after they announced the release date. So it wouldn't be smart on PlayStation to be like, oh, well, let me wait. Let me release The Last of Us 2 before I start talking about PS5, or let me release the Ghost of Tsushima before I start talking about PlayStation 5. It doesn't really make sense because nothing's holding anything back. Like, you're not going to take shine away from The Last of Us when you talk about PS5 or Ghost. Like,
The Last of Us 2 has way too much. The PlayStation 5 is not going to...
Probably the most hyped game that's come out this generation.
Right. So, no, and I don't think so. And plus, they did remember at the beginning of this generation, they did a full-blown reveal of the PS4 in February. Yeah. And The Last of Us came out in like June. 3 or 4 months. Yeah, like 3 months later.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, I didn't think about it like that. But I'm just saying, like, they do have a library they have to get out there first.
Well, yeah, of course, but honestly, PlayStation 5 news isn't really going to affect that all that much with these big anticipated games like Final Fantasy VII, The Last of Us. It could, depending on how late...
It might affect Ghost a little.
Yeah, depending on how late Ghost release, I think some people would just be like, well, since I'm like a month or two away, I would just go ahead and wait for the PlayStation 5. That way I have a brand new game to show off the PS5.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the other games that are releasing earlier, the PS5 news is it's not really going to affect it that much, in my opinion.
What I want for PlayStation and Xbox is I want to know, is that crossplay going to be a thing now? Since it's a thing on the Xbox?
That's a good question. Sony did take a while to get on the whole crossplay situation.
I mean, why? I don't see why it would change. If anything, it should only improve. Obviously now with like games like Destiny, games like Call of Duty, we're waiting for games like 2K to really the games like 2K to take and Maddens and stuff like that to really fully embrace it. But I think that would be a no-brainer, and we'll hear more about that. But right now, the pool just on the Xbox side alone is still decent enough, because you remember with Xbox, you got Xbox One users, PC users, Xbox Series users, and you got xCloud users that can obviously play together to spread that part out. Of course, when you add Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, that's just like unlimited, like almost unlimited amount of players to be paired with. But crossplay, I'm no longer worried about because I think that's gonna continue to improve.
Yeah, they can't retract that, bro.
That's gonna be a standard for a lot of third party.
I'm just curious on each company's take on backwards compatibility and cross-gen purchases and stuff like that. And and then for Microsoft, I'm curious to see how boxing of these games are gonna come. Are there even gonna be physical games? I'm just curious because
physical media is probably this probably be the last gen of physical media.
Are you talking about like a digital transition or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what would their box games look like at this point because
I am literally holding an Xbox One game in my hand right now. I don't like how it's laid out where the disc is on the other side.
I think they're gonna be like a little smaller, bro. Like a little smaller, and then have a little download code on that.
Oh, like the digital cards.
Yeah,
like the digital cards they got.
You talking about the?
I pay for a physical copy if I got a digital copy anyway.
like it's gonna be like a little small digital code in a little small case, and when you open it up, it's in there.
Yeah, they do that though, but they do that right now.
Big case for a little code.
But it still has a disk drive, so there's gonna be some type of disk.
No, I'm sure the disk.
I'm just curious.
The only reason why I'm asking is because right now they got on store shelves. You got all these Xbox One branded discs. What happened? Because these games are obviously when Halo Infinite comes out, is playable.
Oh yeah.
That one disc is the same game across 3.
Yeah. Should I feel like they'll just have like a little line at the top or should beside where it says like Series X or whatever, and it'll say also playable on Xbox One. It's just like that's how it would make sense to me. So you'd be able to tell the difference. Maybe like one is green, maybe one's black, and it'd be like also playable on Xbox One for the green, and then Xbox Series X will be in black, or Series X will be in black.
Well, did you guys see that fan-made case that was being passed around at PS5 point?
Those fan-made cases are dope.
I was like, damn, I want that.
Yeah, those look fire.
Yeah. Fucking A, Sony needs to start hiring their fans. So does Microsoft.
But my thing is that it doesn't seem like, I feel like the messaging hasn't changed. You know how obviously with the C virus and I still think these consoles and stuff are coming this year, especially on Xbox. I feel like Xbox is they just seem more mature in their delivery, and it's crazy to think back in November or even November, they were talking about how the PS5 dev kits are far ahead of the Xbox dev kits, and that Xbox is they're behind and all this stuff, and then freaking months later, it's like what happened, because all we know is all these details about the Xbox Series X. I think the Series X is probably, in terms of release, I think these consoles, or at least the Xbox side, could probably release earlier than expected. And when I say that, meaning it probably won't be a late November release. I feel like it could be a late October, early November releases, anything, because to meet the holiday. I can't stand the whole holiday term, because holiday is pretty much October to December.
I'm thinking around mid-November is probably when we'll see them drop. It's probably going to be the same thing as the beginning of this generation, where they're like 1 or 2 weeks. What was it? They were like 2 weeks apart.
2 weeks apart.
I think it was.
PlayStation, on November 7th, or was it November 14th or 15th?
I don't remember. I know it was early November. And
I want to say 7 for some reason.
Yeah, and the Xbox came out on the 22nd. They matched their Xbox 360 release.
Yeah, they were like a week behind each other. Yeah. All I can say is next generation is going to be very interesting. Microsoft's not, showing their belly like they were last generation, or this gen, I guess. I am glad they are trying. They actually are trying to get their customers back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a must, and it's just like Smooth was saying earlier, and them like that. It was like people literally left certain consoles to play certain games on the X just with the power difference. Like, I mean, well-known Sony preferred platform people left just to go play over it. And I
me
feel like
included. I did get an X because I was like, you know what?
yeah,
First, multiplayer, let's go. I'll get on this because
yeah,
this is the best way
exactly.
to play it on consoles.
So if they come with the better performance or like just good performance and they come with some strong IPs, I feel like the tide will kind of like be shifting, but still remain in Sony's favor just because they've been around longer.
the worldwide.
They're
Like,
longer,
they're
they have a
even
stronger
more-
brand.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're a more well-known, established brand, and they built that trust. But I feel like Microsoft is definitely doing a lot of good moves to improve that for sure.
And this is why I hope that Sony doesn't become because they're on top, because they're
Complacent.
worldwide.
Yeah,
That they don't become complacent, because like I was saying before, just because you're the heavyweight champion, you
Yeah.
still got to get in the ring and fight and defend your title. You still got to work
and
for it,
perform.
you know.
Yeah,
Exactly. and
that's what
perform.
I fear too. So that's what I'm not fearing it, but it's just like I could kind of see like some of the moves. I mean, it just seems kind of weird compared to like last gen or the starting of this gen. Like they just seem really weird.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you guys. I'm sorry,
go ahead.
man.
No, go ahead.
So what's next? Who? I thought we was already waiting for PlayStation to move. So what happens now? I mean, like next week is gonna be March, right? Which is weird to think. Next week is March.
I think PlayStation.
Quick question: when is E3?
PlayStation went a whole month without saying anything.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
Sony
thought
just needs to just come out and say, "Hey, here's the PS5 now." Can we
They
just talk
said
about
some
games?
stuff.
Show
No,
the
they did say
controller,
something.
at least. Show the
everybody
controller.
was on social media. They was like, man, Sony's trying to do that. But what happened to that
Nah.
reveal event? And everybody
Dude,
was
No,
I'm
they did
so
say something though.
disappointed in them.
Sony did say something. Sony did say something.
What they say?
I don't know, man.
They said we're not going to PAX East or GDC because of the P-Valley. That's what they said.
They've been telling us more. They've been telling us more things they ain't doing than things that they go.
Tell us more what they don't do and
Like,
they are gonna do.
So, but like, here's the thing: it's like, given this time, it's like, I was like, I'm thinking, because of this, when Microsoft did this, I was like, okay, so are they even gonna have an event in April?
I don't
is
think
it even
so.
necessary now? Like, if you think, because the stuff that we wanted to find out in a reveal event, we found out today, right?
Yeah,
the only thing
exactly.
they still
The only
gotta
thing
talk
that would be
about the
different
season.
is,
we
here's
didn't
the game.
they didn't give us the clock speeds and like a demo of a UI, and they didn't give us the gigabytes
There's
of.
definitely
but
still
all
more
of that shit can wait,
information.
though.
There's definitely still more information.
Yeah, sure. There's more information, but the thing is now I'm not like thirsty like that. Like I'm
Now
I'm
you're not waiting for that reveal,
yeah,
man.
it's
Like,
like-
and
Yeah,
now you're like,
you're
eh.
not dehydrated, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, shit, a lot
Someone
of
threw some water in your face, like, okay, now drink it.
yeah, like, I mean, should they just feed in the street? Like, I mean, they see that the streets is aching for some type of information on next
But
gen,
the thing
and I
that's-
mean, why not give it? Like, if you got it.
So now over the course of it's just going to be a whole bunch of fake PlayStation specs and rumors for series. But I'm just now we because now here's the thing. Now you know what the narrative is going to be. Right, because remember, after you know how the Xbox Series X got revealed so early, so people were saying, "Oh, I seen more mock-ups of the PS5 than I did of the Series X." I'm like, but we saw the Series X like in December, like so now the people gonna be like, "Oh, there's gonna be more speculations on PS5 than there are Xbox Series X," because we know everything about the Series X, we know nothing about the PlayStation 5, and so we're gonna get. Unfortunately, we're gonna have like weeks and weeks and weeks upon fake leaks and speculation and 12.5 teraflops, 13.2 teraflops,
Here's the
PS5s and shit.
PS5 leak that's just leaked. It's 15 teraflops with overclocked Zen 3 processor. What the hell ever?
But they
it's not gonna be that
crucified
much.
us for having speculation
Yeah.
and are just like entertaining speculation. But then we have folks in our corner like who were actually like, I mean, correct on a lot of the shit that they came up with, or they came out with from like their sources and shit like that. Like, so I mean, like we about to see like a bunch of people come out with fucking 16 teraflops and shit like that, and RDNA
Let me
3 or some shit. Like we about to get hit with a bunch.
Let me
of
address
shit,
the Ravenflow. He's saying a lot. You need to start using the super chat so I can start putting these things together. Ravenflow, I'm just messing with you. He says Xbox has 2 consoles. They can drip feed their information. He says Sony has only 1 console. The Series X isn't the main console. And he says if Microsoft revealed the S first, Sony would have easily outpriced them quickly. I think who's to say the Series S is the thing? Sure, that might be the surprise. It just may be the
we still gotta hear about that.
But we don't know about it. I'm going based off what I got. I know a PS5 exists, and I know an XSX exists. I would like to hear more about the Lockhart, but regardless of anything, when the Xbox comes out, I don't plan on personally buying the Lockhart. I plan on buying this bad boy. That's the one I want. I want the Series X. But go ahead. I interrupted someone.
I ain't gonna lie. When everybody was at the Game Awards and then they revealed the Xbox Series X, I kind of got confused because I thought the Series X was like a different one. It was like something way different. Like, cause you know, with them project names, when there was like Xbox Scarlet or Xbox Anaconda or Xbox Lockhart, I thought it was something way different. I didn't think it was like that. I didn't think it was gonna be like that powerful or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I got confused.
Yeah,
crazy.
Like you got to think to decipher the consoles. Like you got to think about it. Like this gen's consoles all had 1 in the name. Series X does not have a 1. So like people getting confused about the name are just retarded. Like they got dyslexia or some shit. Cause like
I don't know, man. Saying the name of it is kind of hard because I remember Xbox One, Xbox One X. Oh no,
but it's like that's what I'm saying. When we got introduced to the 1, it was like this is the Xbox One family.
Yeah,
this is the Xbox Series X family. It's just like they're like what breaks them apart is that 1. Like you take that 1 out, this is a whole different family.
Yeah.
But the lines are blurred because of how compatible it is. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is like I could take my Xbox, my current Xbox One controller and use it on the Series X, my Elite Series X, and vice versa and whatnot.
Oh, you could do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that.
Like that's fire, bro.
That's tight.
That's
I like the fact you could take your Xbox One controller with the X Series, and it's just like making the transition so much easier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I only have 2 controllers in my apartment.
I gotta get a new controller then. That's
cool. Shit, I got the Series 2, bro. Like, I'd have been heated if they said, hey, yo, this thing will not be compatible. Like, that's trash.
And the thing is that the Xbox Elite
Sony,
Series...
you need to start stepping up your game.
The Xbox Elite Series will actually blends in with the Xbox Series X because it's an Xbox Elite Series 2. Like, is it Xbox?
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't the PS2
say Xbox one more
PS1
time.
controllers?
He said, say Xbox one more time.
Xbox. Well, because you said so much in that one sentence.
Oh, Xbox Series this, Xbox, yeah. But no, dude, I think a lot of people like today. It was crazy because a lot of people were on the crazy damage control. We've seen the memes and people, getting very humbled about this, and they throw out the whole it's about the games part. Oh, you guys are gonna be bamboozled. Oh, this teraflops, that flops, and all this other stuff. People need to just understand, go ahead.
Oh, my fault, Smooth. But hey, I won't lie. Them memes though, bro, the opportunities that the Xbox
dude, some of those memes are fucking hilarious.
Bro, some of them was funny.
The Homer Simpson one in particular is my favorite.
When they started making like different editions and stuff like that, and how like.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind those. Those are funny. No, I'm talking about like the whole people were describing Xbots today, and it's like memes associated with ejaculating and all this other shit, like how excited we are and stuff like that. It's funny, but the thing is that what these guys gotta understand is when Sony finally opens their mouth and utters the words PlayStation 5 and start giving you guys some relevant details about it, you're gonna have 3-hour podcasts. You're gonna have these crazy ass long ass tweets and all this other shit. And I can't wait for this. Oh, I can't wait to see what Naughty Dog do with that. Etc. It's gonna be the same thing.
How they're gonna run on this damn thing.
So it's like
these
guys. The best advice I could give these guys is just shut up. Just let it happen. Let it happen because at the end of the day,
why is everyone rushing? Like, no, Sony, you got to do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. It's like, come on, just look.
Because it's gonna be embarrassing. The guys, like, literally, it's gonna be embarrassing. All the guys that are poking fun at us and all this stuff.
You're gonna get people who are like, PlayStation's
gonna turn around and do the same exact thing when PlayStation starts talking about PS5. Because now these people do what they do to themselves, right? They're putting themselves in a position when the PS5 finally reveals the PlayStation finally reveals relevant PlayStation 5 information. They have to not be as excited as they really want to be. They're gonna have to humble themselves because they know people got receipts and the streets is watching. So they're gonna have to
do it anyway.
Subtle tweets like, this is great.
Dude, I guarantee you, there's gonna be some PlayStation fanboys saying it's more powerful because Mark Cerny said the GPU does this on a special occasion.
Like they're gonna definitely
kind of bullshit to make it sound better. Sorry.
Mega 7981. What's up? My bad.
Oh no, like they're gonna definitely because hypocrisy is very strong in this gaming community, like the Twitter community. So everybody busting our balls for being excited for shit or just getting any type of information on the console. They're gonna do the same fucking thing and. We try to point it out, and it is like, oh man, you're hating because Sony's the market leader. They about to win. It's just yo, fuck out of here, bro.
Nobody should be. Nobody should listen, man.
I ain't gonna hold y'all, bro. But I'm excited for the Xbox Series.
I'm ready for them super excited, dude. When I
games, bro.
This made my day because it's like, wow, we just got some. Just juicy ass information. The reason why I'm excited is one, they confirmed some information. They're detailed about it. They came out with it. It was random. And the fact that when this stuff first leaked, all this stuff was denial. Nobody didn't want to believe that this thing was going to be 12 teraflops of RDNA 2, Navi, all this bullshit. They denied that part of the leak. That was what they denied. Tell Tflps. They did not. And every time I spoke of it or spoke anything that supported that leak, they asked me, are you believe the 12 Tflop rumor? Oh. I was like, well, I didn't say I did. I'm just saying.
Smooth.
What?
Are they going to use the power, though? Are they actually going to use this power, or are we going to get Voodoo Vince too? Let's just be real here.
Of course, they're going to use the power, bro. But we gonna wait because when
is that John?
Yeah.
John, what's up, John?
No, that's something.
Hey, hold on. Let me say something. When it comes to the PlayStation 4 this year, right?
Yeah.
Sony is treating me very well. You know what I mean? They're satisfying here. You know what I mean? Pause. Right? Because we're gonna get a bunch of banging ass games for the PS4 this year, right? So Sony is still looking out for us gamers or us PlayStation gamers this year. We're set, right? Mm-hmm. We have much more to look forward to this year when it comes to games.
But let's be real,
Chris.
Than the Xbox. Hold on, but let me finish real quick, right? So when it comes to Sony releasing the PS5 information, for me, since I'm seeing, all you guys getting excited, you know what I mean, as you should, right? If you're an Xbox fan, this is very exciting news. Nobody should be. I'm not hating on anybody that's excited for this news because this is exciting. You know what I mean? The console they're coming out. Shut up, at it. They're coming out with a console specs, and the thing is going to be a beast. So we know that they're not going to compromise this time around, right? But when it comes to Sony and the PS5, whenever they release that all the information, right? And whenever they talk about games, whenever they show off that Horizon Zero Dawn 2, that Spider-Man 2, the next Naughty Dog, whatever they have going, possibly a Bloodborne 2, which I don't think that's going to happen, but possibly, then all this other shit, right? When it comes to the Xbox, this shit going to go away, right? Because what you got, now I'm going to put my pony hat on here. What you guys got coming other than Halo Infinite?
New ideas. All you mentioned was sequels.
Hold on. That dog shit ass Hellblade 2? Huh?
He calls it
trash? Huh?
No, my man.
Battle
Yeah,
Tool is
Hey,
trash.
bro, you sleeping,
My man
sleeping
going
on
full
Ninja Theory, bro.
retard right now.
Here's-
That's what's
Dude,
happening.
come on.
Yeah, I'm going
Let's
full
get-
phone.
let's
Yeah,
get
yeah,
complete
yeah.
All right,
some
all right,
credit
all right,
here,
Chris,
okay?
Hellblade
Chris.
2 might be a good game.
Yeah, you can't be calling it dog shit when you don't even know what the game's
I'm
actually
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this, Chris. One, you shouldn't be hyped. Like I said, the starting five for PlayStation, they're gone. Your Andrew House gone. Sean Layden gone. Yoshida demoted. All of them are gone. So all these things you think you're probably going to get, I don't think is going to be delivered in the way you like. Remember the guy that bought Horizon.
Listen.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We
Things is
still
changing over there.
hold on. Listen. What are you talking about, bro? We still got Naughty Dog. We got
Yeah,
Insomniac.
a lot. Yeah, Naughty Dog and Insomniac.
We got
A lot of
Santa Monica.
Bro,
Whoa,
Insomniac
time out. I love those studios you just mentioned because a lot of that premium talent went to what? The Initiative, Playground Games. Oh, sound like some Xbox studios that they went for. That's where they went. That's where they went. Sony Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, Rockstar employees all went to Playground, Initiative, and the Initiative. That's where they've been going. You know how many I've been retweeting these hires for about a year and a half now.
They were the janitors. They were the window wipers.
The janitors. The janitors.
My man going full retard again. That's strike 2.
Dude, come on. You gotta give Microsoft some credit, man.
Oh man,
listen,
shout out to the 400 people watching, dude. Like you guys,
Insomniac
must have a lot of West Coast
bro.
Watchers at this point.
Nah, you tripping.
Yeah,
Randall Thor in the building. What's up? I gotta watch your video, Rand.
Nah.
Like I was kind of mad you dropped the video the minute I went live, but I'm gonna check it out. But go.
Hey, Rand is watching this. Yo, Rand, shout out to you, bro. I brought your videos too, bro. Shout out to you, bro.
Shit, he's not a superstar. Like,
Shout out, Rand.
He's not like Chris
No,
Lee.
because I watch his content, bro. That's why I said shout out to him.
Here's the thing. So the thing is, I'm no longer afraid of honestly what PlayStation might do because Hunter Hearst Helmsley don't scare me. And Jim Ryan and Jim
Helmsley.
Yeah, the dude from and the dude
That
Jim Ryan
was Triple
honestly
H's original wrestling name.
and Jim Ryan is the second coming of fucking Don Matrick. So I'm just letting you guys know now, like the way y'all been moving, the way PlayStation been moving is shaky.
Nah, bro.
I'm still going to
Jim
support
Ryan
the
already
content.
told you, bro.
I think you're kind of overblowing these position changes.
No. You guys had a sick fucking leadership. Like Andrew House was, and Sean Layden, that core, they brought you guys the greatness. They're gone.
They brought you to greatness.
They're gone.
Yeah, but don't you think the replacements would have the same ideas? At least
No, absolutely not. Jim Ryan cleaned house.
Hell no.
He said,
It's different people.
Jim Ryan took
But we're
dudes
still
out
gonna get
back.
greatness.
That's
What are you
he
talking
did.
about,
Jim
Snoop?
Ryan took
We're
dudes
still
out
gonna get
back.
greatness.
That's what he's doing.
No, yeah,
okay, like
bro.
you're still getting. Hold up. You're
He's
getting
going all
titles
yellow
that
asses.
were announced when Layden was there. That's what you're getting. You're getting titles that were announced when Layden was there. He's now gone, and you now see that they're not moving the same way that they were. You have to be honest about that. Shit, I'm honest about that. What I'm seeing,
you gotta start seeing the signs now, bro.
Yeah, they damn sure not moving like how when Layden was there.
Remember, guys,
Listen,
PlayStation,
man, we ain't
the
worried about it.
PlayStation.
We got
Remember, the PlayStation
developers.
guys.
Yeah, we know because you're loyal fans.
Can you guys hear me or am I botting? Am I botting?
I can hear
Nah,
you.
you good?
All right,
No,
remember
you good, fam.
remember how we like, oh, PlayStation just dropped news on a Wednesday. That was the old core. The old core that stopped doing events were actually making up for it. This new core,
Yo, I
this
need
Jim
to
Ryan
focus on
and
the
Hunter
training
Hearst
with
Helmsley,
PlayStation
like they're on something different. They're cocky. They trying to live off the success that the old starting five did, and they're not pulling their weight. They're not pulling their weight. Oh, they think they dropped PS Now $10 to $10, and that's it.
All right. Well, we just gonna have to wait, but go ahead. But go ahead and count them out. Go
No,
ahead
I'm
and
not
count
counting them out because
Go
PlayStation is
ahead and count
PlayStation. Like, you know what I mean? There's a fool born in
Well,
America every day. I mean,
People,
so
it would be
like,
unwise to count Sony out.
I'm not gonna
look at
count
the
them out.
PS3, How they turned it all
Nobody's
around.
counting anybody out. Like it's just like
I know. I'm just
like
saying. Anyone who
Xbox
is
gamers,
is
like,
being naive.
our preference gamers, Xbox preferred gamers, and like PC players and shit like that. Like we don't count any fucking platform out. It's always the other way around. Like they just like completely dismiss Xbox from like fucking existence. But it's just like we know that Sony's here. We know that they gonna have bangers. Like that's a given. Like that's just what they do.
Fair enough.
No,
yeah, and we know PlayStation historically, history
I'm just
shows
being a
that
pony, though.
and
I'm
history
just,
shows.
I'm just trolling you guys. I'm
And
just
no,
trolling guys, but-
you good, because it inspires me.
No, hold on. I'm just trolling you guys, but a lot of the things I say does have truth to them. You know what I mean? When you see that sequel to God of War, and then y'all over here playing Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Bro,
I
so
think
Like
you're
we don't know
overblowing that God of War
what
sequel,
come
man.
after that though. Like that's
I kind of feel like though, man.
no.
I'm not
Let's be
trying to play
fair.
Voodoo Vince 2 next gen.
Yo, let's be fair, right? So you guys want to talk about the games that are coming out in the next like 3 to 4 weeks, right? That the Xbox One games, right? But then you want to talk about God of War 2022
That's like 5-6
when
years out.
Obsidian's going to be making like the Skyrim killer back like on for Xbox and PC only. So
that's what
I mean, I'm just saying, I can throw that out there. You want to throw out this God of War that doesn't exist
that's
yet?
like years out the way.
I can throw out the
We could do
Skyrim
this
killer that Obsidian's doing.
Technically, we don't even know if God of War 2 really is being developed or if it will be in Sam Monca's next game. Because Corey Balog's kind of acting like he's almost independent from that.
Hey, hold up,
Corey
hold up.
Balog
We
is
can
leaving.
Hey, and we can.
Dude,
we can,
Corey Balog leaves. I'm just gonna be like, fuck God of War 2.
He
I'm
left
done.
before. He's leaving. He's leaving.
Ho.
Wait.
You
Let me
say?
say something real quick.
Corey Barlog is leaving.
Skyrim killer.
What did he
Wait,
say that or
No.
did he,
No. He's. I rest my case. I'm just saying, but he'll be leaving soon.
Bro,
Okay,
the Outer
well,
Worlds
Like
didn't
that's
even
a
kill
hell of a
Fallout.
prediction right there, bro. Like that's a hell of a.
Hey, what I was gonna say is,
But
whenever
technically, he doesn't work just for Sony, just in all fairness.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
His next game is a multi-plat.
Yeah. This one will be
That's
a little
crazy.
girl running around.
Well,
and he'll
it
get
could
the-
be like
the
it-
guy will
like-
be shouting, girl.
Hey, it's not gonna
Like-
matter because
like
Corey
Corey's-
Balog didn't make the best God of War.
Huh? Hold up, what? Hold up.
Wait, what?
I said Corey Balog didn't make the best God of War. The best God of War game is God of War 3, and that was directed
Oh,
by. I
dude.
forgot what his name
In
was.
his opinion,
Stop right now.
that's
Stop
what it
right
is,
now.
but
Me and you are
that's
going to get an
not-
argument about that.
Yeah, in his opinion, that's
No,
what
that's
it
right.
is.
Yo, we got
Hey,
430
no, God of
people
War- God of
watching
War
this.
3.
Can we get more
Hey, you
likes?
can have
God of War
an
3
opinion
is the
that
best God
Panda
of War.
expresses to
Yo,
food.
somebody's background is like ugly bad.
Yeah, who the hell is
Who's
that?
that? I think that's
All right. No.
that guy who's arguing with my facts.
All right, can we get like 424
Who?
likes, please?
Oh yeah, let's get some more likes in there, bruh.
I literally
Like,
just
but
got
yeah,
home, so
Corey
bro.
Barlog for
No, God of War
me, he
2, God
made
of
the
War
best
2.
God of War, and
God of War
that's-
2 and God of War
That's
2018
that
were definitely
2018
amazing.
Joan.
But my favorite is still
Benji's.
number 3 because it had the best boss fights. It had the
Okay.
greatest boss fights.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
fair
God
enough.
of
I'll
War
give you that.
2018, even though I enjoy it and I prefer God of War the way in its 20,
They
the
recycle a lot of the same
Oh, I
bosses.
got- I
the
do too.
2018 God of
I
War.
like the change.
However, I do feel that it is overrated and their boss fights were lackluster. I feel like they were like they had a magical moment right at the beginning of the
I
game
agree.
and they kept trying to
Yeah.
duplicate it.
I
And
agree.
they didn't have
Yeah,
good.
they were more
in-between
cinematic
fights.
focused. They were more
The story's
cinematic
okay.
focused than like.
No, the
yeah.
story's dope. The
story's
story's
awesome.
dope. It's the thing is, but from what I know as a non God of War fan and what I've played and what I saw in previous God of Wars, I felt like, well, damn, they kind of took a step back on the fights. You know what I mean? In terms of the scope of the entire game. But like the opening fight, obviously amazing, and then but it kind of wore down as you started seeing the dude a couple more times.
Yeah. And JD Gamer, bro.
JD Gamer says PS is now ran by businessmen that don't get that gaming is art, sports, and technical. Now, no, hold on. Let me read this. I'm sounding like an idiot. PS is now ran by businessmen that don't get that gaming is an art, sports, and technical. Know how all in one hobby. They are about your pockets. Period. Hashtag Matrix. So what he's pretty much saying is ran by businessmen,
bro. Nobody understands what he just said.
No, yeah, but I can decipher
get what he's saying.
Let me say.
I get what he's saying.
He says it's ran by businessmen who don't pretty much understand the art of gaming. They're just in it pretty much for the money. They don't know what all goes into gaming. So a lot of the deals. That's hence why the first PS5 games that we learned of was a looter slasher and not a typical.
Yeah, but that's third party.
It's third party, but it's the game they chose to show off the PS5, though, right?
But listen,
they still
as long as they
exclusivity.
As long as they still continue to give their developers freedom to make the game, then that's it. Right. It don't matter what the business aspects, what business they're gonna take. If Naughty Dog still makes the game that they want to make, if Insomniac, Sony Ben, all these great developers, they're gonna be straight, man.
Where did this idea come from?
Developers, space, and everything will be fine.
Where did this idea?
The creative process can be impacted by somebody who is just business oriented. Like it happens with bands, it happens with musicians all the time. It can happen with game companies.
Absolutely.
So like if he definitely wants them to approach a game in a different way, like it may not mess with the narrative, but it could mess with how that game operates with, like, let's say, like in-game purchases or however the whole
or you might
like
start
that.
saying RPG elements like how Ubisoft be doing it. Start saying skill trees and shit.
Think of those RPG elements and story-driven games. Goddamn.
All right, so Johnny Hero. I want to hear Johnny Hero. He has something to say, but
yeah. So where did this idea come from that Sony gives their developers like all this freedom and Microsoft doesn't? Like, how do we know Microsoft isn't giving them the same freedom and they're just making trash games? Like, how do we know that? Just that?
I think that's a lot of the old fans saying that kind of.
It's more so follows. It follows the narrative of like Xbox always doing the same 3 fucking titles, and it's always Sony comes out with something new or fresh or whatever. That's where that came from. It's just like people think. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Even though they are, I mean, not they are. Even though they both coming out with the same games and sequels and shit, and I don't see how they doing anything new. They both coming out with sequels and stuff.
Yeah,
that's
like
true.
they come out like
They came out with
more
new
so
IPs,
Sony follows
like
the
Horizon
formula.
Zero Dawn.
Where like Xbox,
Spider-Man Days Gone.
I mean, think about all the games
like,
people are hyped to play. They're all got the letter 2 in them. Spider-Man 2, Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
But they all follow kind of like a formula as well. With Xbox, it's just like a single franchise. So it's like, it's a lack of variety. But with like Sony, they add variety with new stories, but the whole gameplay is usually like the same shit. It's like third person adventure.
I disagree.
No, but it's like there's nothing to disagree with. Like everybody knows that the game is like like when you mention a third party franchise, when you mention a Sony franchise. All right, we know that like the template that you always mention is third person, adventure, heavy narrative. The only different approach to it is that the narratives are different. Like they're changed. They're well done, but it's just like when it comes to the gameplay loop, it's the same thing. So
no,
like,
it's not because no.
How is it not?
Honestly,
they hold on. Listen. Let me go. They have. Okay, I agree that this is what they have in common. That they are single player, third person, narrative driven games, right? At least like some of the bigger titles. We're not talking about the smaller titles because they have variety when it comes to like Ratchet & Clank, when it comes to Gravity Rush,
like you got Dreams
and stuff like that,
shit
right?
like that. But I'm saying the heavy hitters.
But the big right, the heavy hitters. Okay, God of War doesn't play anything like Uncharted. Uncharted doesn't play anything
But it's
like
still third person is what I'm talking about.
right.
That's
But the
what I'm aiming
gameplay
at.
is different. You're not
Well,
playing
if
the
that's the
same
case, then
game.
No,
Gears of
that's
War
because
shares a lot of
it's a
DNA with
slasher
Arkham.
compared to Uncharted. That is a
But what I-
that's a shooter. But they're still
here's my
action adventure third person heavy narrative games. That's their template. That's just how they are.
What I want to add to that is, can you honestly tell me the difference between Days Gone and Last of Us? Please tell me the difference.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's in
yes,
the
I can.
story.
I
It's
can.
in the
You mean
narrative.
if you were
It's
only shown
the difference.
screenshots?
No.
It's the details.
I could tell you the difference. Days Gone is open world. Days Gone actually has a hordes and hordes of zombies, way more than The Last of Us does. Like
Well, The Last of Us is more focused on the story instead of the open
right,
world stuff.
it's more linear, right?
This doesn't have
Days-
open world stuff.
I think he
No, but
more,
it's like Days Gone had a strong narrative too, but a lot of people didn't pay attention to it. So
It had a good story. It's kind of messed up a little. Like, I don't know.
I would disagree on that.
They
I
looked a
enjoyed
little
the hell out
janky.
of
Days
it,
Gone.
but
Days Gone was good.
Yeah.
I did like how Jinky was talking to himself, though. That was kind of cool. It's like he's talking to the
yeah,
player.
because he's living in a fucked up world. So, like, I mean, he's
Well, he
trying
also
to
has
psych himself
PTSD
up
because he
as
was
well.
a soldier.
Yeah, that too. But also living in that world would give you PTSD too.
PTSD.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You know, you have your
Sony's
motorcycles.
got
more.
good games. Let's just admit that.
like they just have
Yeah,
a
of course.
template that like the dude always mentions, but the difference here with Xbox is that it's always the same franchises. If they did different franchises, even if they were with like similar gameplay loops or whatever, but they were just different franchises, new people, new environments, new all of that, people wouldn't say much because like they'd be done well. And if the story's done well, they'd be fine. Like
I mean,
No,
here's
but
the
they
thing,
did. But they had some new franchise this generation. The only thing is, majority of the people, majority of the people saw them as mediocre, like your Rise, like your Quantum Break.
Yep. The Quantum Break was good.
Rise.
Quantum Break was a good game, but people hate it because of Xbox, and they turn around and release Control, which is Quantum Break with a female, and they all love it, and it's a Gotti contender. Kiss my ass. I don't know why.
Look, you just did the big difference right there. It's a female.
Freaking
women, right?
Recore came out. Ori was new. Cuphead was new. All this other stuff.
But yeah, Ori was new.
Sea of Thieves is a new IP.
Let's talk about that. Hold up. Sea of Thieves was the most innovative AAA game that came out this gen. Period. Even though it scored bad and people hate on it, like that's the narrative, it's just a trash game. Think of another pirate game that worked as seamlessly as that game, where you can have a crew of like 4 people. The PvP, no loading screens, all natural. You just see someone, boom, you're fighting. Like that game, on paper, that game was innovative as fuck.
JD Gamers.
It has gotten better over time.
I gotta read the super chat.
I don't know. I haven't played Sea of Thieves, so I really can't call it trash.
It says,
let him read the.
JD Gamer says, just like FPS aren't as popular this gen, those third-person narrative-driven cinematic games will fall out of favor as well. Once platformers ruled. Yeah, I mean, trends happen. You know what I mean? So obviously during our childhood, platforming.
But is there really a trend if
it's gonna get played out, man?
No, as long as they do it right. If they do it right and they execute it very well,
it's all on.
Call of Duty is still here, and that shit ain't played out.
Exactly.
No, I'm saying
It's all right now. Let me get this off my chest. Let me get this off my chest.
What's good? What's good?
Who is that?
That's Nick.
What's good, Nick?
Let
me get this up off my chest.
So y'all.
All right, the thing is that we've hit kind of like that wall when it comes to game innovation. But the thing is that now it's about execution. Can you execute a good story, a gripping story? Can you execute like gameplay that is like
100%
an approach to it that is like gripping to the player? Like that's how this whole because people keep throwing out innovation when they don't know what the fuck that word means.
It's not
like the most innovative.
The
most innovative game I played was like Mario 64, where they introduced the 360 camera. That shit blew my mind. After that, like every game just felt like whatever for the most part. Besides the narrative, the narrative beats in the story execution and how they did it. Like this is what it is.
Think of new ways to take money from you.
You got to remember Hellblade 2, the game that a lot of you guys are excited for.
Yeah,
it's going to be a heavy story-driven narrative, third-person action.
Yeah, I'm not calling for those games to go away though. Here's the thing: before those games, before that genre calms down, I need my Perfect Dark action adventure game to come out. I need Hellblade 2 to come out. I need to see what Fable is doing before those genres die out. So I want Xbox to execute those type of games like at least like within the next 2 years before the industry decides they want to do some fuck shit. Okay, but
I don't think those genres are ever gonna die out.
No, Fable's gonna be Microsoft's new. Fable's gonna be Microsoft's like Witcher 3. It's gonna be like their big AAA adventure. Yeah, that's gonna be all that.
Big facts.
Toss a coin to your Fable.
For them games to come back too. It is a good time for them games to come back.
Like, I mean, like these games, the shit like Sea of Thieves doesn't need a sequel. Shit is like Minecraft. Yeah, like you could just keep adding on to that. That doesn't.
Remember, Rare's is working on this game Everwild. That's
Yeah, they working on Everwild right now.
Big facts.
I just hope it's like an action game though, man.
It should have some action in it.
I mean?
Yeah, it better not turn out to be a AAA rhyme.
That's
what I don't
want. I'll be mad as hell.
But I'm trusting them. I'm trusting them. If these fools can fall in love with that Zelda game, I'm pretty sure Everwild took some inspiration from that.
You played Breath of the Wild yet?
Yeah, I had
Zelda's on another level.
Oh, somebody said blown is gay.
I'm sorry, I've never gotten to Zelda, and I think it's really over fucking rated.
Nah, you tripping, Zelda.
I ain't even gonna do that.
I'm just gonna say,
look, watch your mouth. Like you can't say nothing wrong with Nintendo, or you will be.
Yeah, I mean you can, but
I'm just gonna say this.
Like, you
can say a whole bunch of shit wrong with Nintendo.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
I do. I can't.
No, he's talking
online service. They still got no damn voice chat on the damn console. Okay.
I'm just gonna say this just so we can stay on topic, and then I have to get out of here early. But people keep jumping in, and it's making it harder. In terms of viewers, but I feel like Xbox is in a very interesting, intriguing position. They got 15 studios. They all working on something new. NXL is hiring for a new unannounced IP that they've been teasing. You got 15 studios all working on something completely new. Multiple studios with multiple projects in development. They got a console that's about to come out. They have pretty much they own the narrative right now. All eyes is on them, and I feel like this year is going to be for Xbox. For now, for Xbox is going to be very it's going to be incredible, and I can't wait to see what they do.
It's gonna be do or die time.
They've been doing a whole lot of doing.
They've been doing a whole lot.
They've been doing a whole lot of doing. They set themselves up, and right now, just to give you guys a heads up, I didn't realize this, but Wasteland Remastered has been available to play on xCloud for a week, and it doesn't come out until the 25th. So, just for those who, it's out on xCloud, but it's not on Xbox yet. Yeah, it's weird. But
we need to get some of those damn PC games.
It's I can't wait, and like I said. It feels good to be an Xbot stuck with it, and I'm just curious to see how shit looks, because all the people that that jump ship and found newfound family.
Smooth weather the storm.
I can't wait.
You don't have to worry about crap because he's been gone.
I'll give it up to Smooth, man. He weathered the storm. He did weather the storm.
Hey. Weather the storm, and I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna be able to help launch in the series. I wasn't on YouTube and Twitter this crazy during October, November 2013, right? But I will be this fall. So I'm excited.
Make it up the last time, damn it.
So I'm super duper excited. He says, the Almighty Spartan God says, the Legend of Elda, Breath of the Wild is dog poop.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Oh Lord.
But no, we finna get out of here.
Bomba
Though.
clap.
Any last words in regards to the information, the info dump that Microsoft provided today about the Xbox Series X, one at a time? Let's start with whoever I didn't hear from for the most part today. Let's go with D-Bot.
All right. Well, in regards to that information, I'm excited. That's all I got to say. So somebody else go.
I mean,
Good.
go ahead. No, I mean, really ain't much to say because a lot of people went with Jason Schreier when who was it that leaked the 12 teraflops?
It was Dealer and Windows Central and
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Dealer and Windows Central. Yeah, so everybody already knew pretty much, but it just confirmed 120 frames per second with that.
Well, they've been
CPU.
They've been talking about that. It was more so people were wary of the 12 Tflop's of Navi. People, and then RDNA 2. People were like didn't believe that. They thought that was just like overkill and it's probably overkill.
12 being too much. Yeah,
because they were like, oh no, because the equivalent, right? Should have been like to twice. It should have been like maybe nine Tflops. That's what they thought realistically would be. But chances are that's where the PlayStation 5 is actually at, and that's where things are gonna get interesting. But,
I really just think it's gonna be expensive, like maybe 600. You know what I mean with that. Because that's a lot of expensive, hardware inside of there, man.
I mean, it is.
I just don't see them taking a big hit like that. It's no need. You still got last-gen hardware out there you're going to have for 2 more years.
Nobody want that shit. Oh,
True, they don't. Well, yeah, they do.
I mean, I'm happy with my Xbox One X.
We don't want it.
I'm ready for that.
Yeah. When that Series X come out, man, I'm gone, man. The Xbox One gone.
Yeah. The minority is gone, but the majority not going to really see a reason.
Exactly.
So it's going to be interesting to see.
All right. Who else do we got in here? Let's go with John the Hero. I want to hear your take.
All right, man. I really want Microsoft to win next gen. I think the culture needs it. I think the industry needs it. I really want to see them capture that W.
Sure.
I don't want to see any more games that look like Minecraft mods, though. I'll be honest. I don't want blue bands. They bought Obsidian, and now Obsidian's making like a Fortnite-looking battle royale, like a PvP game. I don't know. I'm not feeling that. But I want Microsoft to win. I hope they make all the right moves. I hope these developers are making something special. And yeah, man, fuck it. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Death.
Yeah. I mean, Dilla and them already. So they already did it. So like, I mean, should already had like. I mean, after so many people come out and say something, like you kind of, like it starts to hold some water. So this is like, when it actually came out that it was teraflops and all that shit. Like, I mean, I was like, all right, should they already said that shit? Like, so now I'm leaning towards like the PS5 being the 9.2 teraflops, and I mean that's fine. Like, I mean, should they gonna have their bangers and yada yada yada? So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, thanks, Smooth. I mean, should I just hopped up in the jump? I mean, y'all can find me up on Twitter, man, being like whatever, dog. Like, holla at your boy, Def Grips. The I in Grips is an L, a lowercase L.
The I's an L.
Yeah.
Def
All right,
Grips.
so peace.
That's how you play is Call of Duty anyway. Go ahead, man.
Nigga, I'm on Halo right now.
The Gamer 25.
All I'm gonna say is it's good to see Microsoft finally have the power advantage, but now I want to see their games take advantage of that power. I don't want to see games looking like they could run on 360. I want.
He's already said that already.
Next gen.
Right.
But that's
Bruh, yeah, like let's ignore that Hellblade 2 and Halo Infinite and stuff like that. So,
I'm just saying, there is a lot that is CGI. There's a lot.
They gave you. It doesn't matter. You know how.
No,
you know how
probably
Blade 2 gonna
actually in
look
the
good,
game.
man. Stop bluffing. Like, come on, man.
Well, I gotta see it with my own
Y'all
eyes
need to-
before
Okay, well, I think God of War gonna be a cartoon game. Like, come on, man, be real. Like, y'all not playing real.
yo, Chris Righteous, man, Chris Righteous.
It's gonna be a cartoon game.
Yeah, like, that logic is crazy. You just seen Hellblade 2. Like,
Chris Righteous, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. All right, man. Yo, thanks for having me on, Smooth. You know what I mean? Y'all know who it is. Chris Righteous, the Pony Rican. All right, represent
Pony Rican.
Yeah, Pony Rican. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay.
You're
welcome, man. You're welcome.
All right, let me read this. All right, JD
Hold on,
game.
I'm not finished.
Go ahead. Ooh, somebody's like having sex with their mic, dude. Oh.
Yeah, somebody's mic is crazy right now. Who's that? All right, y'all can check me out. Smooth, we doing PX this Wednesday.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, y'all can check me out. Des Grips and Nick Banks. I expect to see y'all there this time.
Yes, sir. You already know.
I'm gonna be there. And listen, man, I just want to applaud Microsoft. They're having a good rollout when it comes to their information about the console itself. You know what I mean? A lot better than the earlier this generation. So I salute them for that. But like what everybody else is saying, they just need to step it up hard with their game departments. And Sony, the move is on you, man. We all waiting. I mean, I know you're gonna deliver, but the move is on you guys. So let's get it. That's it.
Follow up with that. JD Gamer says for $5. The problem with Sony staying silent is it allows Microsoft to control the narrative, and this is exactly what happened in reverse in 2013. Control your narrative. You know what? Shout out to JD Gamer for that, because that's exactly what's happened. The fact that they control the information. Actually, since December, the Xbox has been controlling the information that came out, like setting the bar, the tone for what's what. Like, and by them doing this, we're talking about the Series X, but it also has forced us to talk about the PlayStation 5. The difference between the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, when we're talking about the Series X, we're talking about facts. When we're talking about PlayStation 5, we're talking about speculation and guesses and rumors.
That's why I want them to hurry up and so everybody can stop speculating, man.
Hurry up, PlayStation. Go ahead and do that state of play, man. That's all we need. That's it for you guys. God. I'll be back tomorrow with either a video or a live stream. I don't know what game. I need to play something though, because I haven't been on my Xbox or PlayStation in a hot while. So I mean, actually, I ain't gonna lie. I played like Ninja Gaiden the other day.
Yeah, that game was alright.
I'm gonna just say this as always. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We're out of here. Peace. Can't wait to pre-order that Series X.
Holla at your boy.